Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. So, I just finished watching Steven Universe the movie, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. So, if you haven't seen the movie yet, spoilers will be ahead, and if you don't want to be spoiled, click off and come back later after you finished watching the movie. So, Steven Universe the movie took a bit of a different turn than I thought it would. I didn't know too much about this movie going into it, besides, I think they didn't really reveal too much information, honestly, about it. So, but all I knew basically is that it's a movie set 2 years in the future, and it's Steven Universe. That's pretty much all I knew going into it. And so the reason why I say it took a different turn than I thought it would was because the movie started out, when Steven and the gang are sitting on that hill, and then Spinel comes out of the sky. She resets the gems, and she gets herself reset, and basically pretty much a big chunk of about the first hour of the movie is about Steven trying to figure out, how do I get Pearl back, how do I get Amethyst back, how do I get Garnet back, and how do I get Spinel back to try to save the Earth. That was pretty much the first hour of the movie, maybe the first like 40-50 minutes, because I know the first like 10 minutes was just about like kind of just like catching up with everything that happened throughout the series. But I was kind of surprised that that's where they took the movie. I thought it was going to be that they're kind of like fighting this character, this new villain, throughout the majority of the movie. I didn't think that the entire movie would be spent fighting this new villain. I thought that maybe like the first half hour or so would have been showing like, oh, look at how the universe has changed since Steven, I fixed everything in the finale, but that ended up being the first like 10-15 minutes. And then they just were trying to get the old characters to get their memories back pretty much the entire movie, which is really, really different than what I thought this movie would be. And overall, I thought that Steven Universe, the movie, was okay. And I'll tell you why. I know some of you are probably thinking, how could you think it's okay? It was a great movie. And this is why. For one, I don't like musicals whatsoever, and I was really disappointed when I heard that Steven Universe the movie was going to be a musical. That's one thing that I didn't like. I think it worked. I think the movie worked as a musical, but just personally me, that's not something that I'm really into. So that's why that's something I didn't like necessarily about it. I thought that it would have been fine if they were just. I thought it would have been fine if they were just speaking in a lot of the music parts. I think some of the music parts, yeah, it's Steven Universe. Steven Universe is known to have music throughout the series. I think that's fine, but I think making the whole thing a musical is kind of it's not necessarily my thing. But I thought overall it worked. But my biggest thing about this movie that it kind of it's kind of making me wonder a little bit, like, what was the purpose of this movie exactly, right? Because it doesn't really, well, the story of Steven Universe is over, so it doesn't progress the story. It doesn't really do anything for the world of Steven Universe, really. All it tells you about the universe is really that Pink Diamond just left a bunch of things a mess, when a wreck rather, when she left, and Steven has to kind of fix her mess, which we already knew that from watching the series, that Pink Diamond left a lot of things screwed up, and Steven's been fixing those things throughout the series. So I kind of don't really see what the purpose of this movie was. I would have loved to have seen Steven interact with the diamonds more. I would have loved to seen them get involved. That's really something that I'm kind of a little disappointed that they didn't, because they were only in the beginning of the movie, and then they were at the very end. They were nowhere in between. I feel like when Spinel put the drill into the earth, and when everybody's minds got erased, I feel like he should have gone straight to the diamonds to see what they can do, and it would have been cool if they were just like no clue what to do. They just don't know what they should do. They're just completely confused. That would have been something I would have liked to see. Um, but like I said, I really don't see where this movie fits into everything, because I would have thought we would have seen more of the aftermath of the finale, and we saw a little bit of it. We saw that the Diamonds want Steven to live on Homeworld. We saw that there's like a little homeworld being built in Beach City, or right outside Beach City, which I think that's great. but I would have liked to have seen more of the aftermath of the finale in this movie. But overall, I don't think this was a bad movie. I think it worked, but in the big scheme of things, I just don't see where it fits in with the overall story. Because before I say anything else, I just want to say that if you haven't watched my other videos before, in my opinion, this was the end of Steven Universe as a series. I don't think it's coming back for a sixth season. That's why I'm being this critical of the movie, because I don't see where it fits into the overall plot of the show or how it builds upon the story of Steven Universe. I just don't see that. And, you know, I could be wrong. It could come back for a sixth season. I just don't see that happening. I think that Steven Universe is over as a series. Maybe, I've said this before, maybe they make like a how Dragon Ball transitioned into Dragon Ball Z and how Naruto transitioned into Shippuden. Maybe they do something like that, but I don't think Steven Universe, the show we watched for the past 6 years, comes back for a sixth season. I think it's over. That's why I'm kind of just like, if this was the send off to the show, this was the final hoorah for the show, that's why I'm a bit disappointed. Because that's what I think it is. I think this is a situation like Ed and Eddie ended, and then the Big Picture show sent it off, and that was the end of the series. That's what I feel like Steven Universe the movie is, and that's why I feel like it could have done maybe a little bit of a better job doing that. Because, like I said, this didn't really do anything for the series, do anything for the plot. It just kind of status quo. The movie began and everything was happy. The movie ends and everything was happy, but the world overall didn't change because of the events of the movie. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of Steven Universe the movie, and I'll see you guys next time.